Goats. I'm here with Hialeah Comic Bros over here. We got a Hialeah trilogy in the house tonight. I got the bum down there, fist bump, and we're gonna talk a little Dolphins. We're gonna talk a little bit of Raiders, and then just general free agency overall. The best moves, the worst moves, some of our favorites. If we have time, we're going to go back and get a little bit historical and look at some of the worst and best of all time. So before we get started, I just have one disclaimer. The goal tonight is not to mention the disease, of course, to get people's mind off this evil, boring problem we have in Florida. It came from the north. People are tired of it. It's caused great harm. We all wish we could get rid of it, never have to deal with it again. Of course, I'm referring to Tom Brady.
Very nice. Agreed. 100%.
The White Walker.
Super excited to have these two guests with me today, and it's not because of their knowledge, because they do have that, and it's not because of their charisma, because they do have that, because this makes me the youngest buck, dude. You guys are old goats.
That's the point, right? You're solely the young goat.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
Hialeah Comic Bros representing the Raider Nation, the Las Vegas Raider Nation now.
Very nice.
His first appearance. He is one of the culprits in me becoming a Dolphin fan. Share my season tickets with him for quite a few years. So let's talk some football, dude. We're 10 days into it right now. The draft's less than a month away. Not sure how that's going to be held, but it's going to be held. Hialeah Comic Bro, you got your top 10 signings ready?
Yeah, good and bad. Not 10 in total.
That's cool. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Here.
I'm going to start off with Byron Jones, cornerback, coming over to the Dolphins, over from Dallas. 5-year, $82 million. Is that the most ever for a corner, or is that the most right now for a corner?
I will say that the Dolphins are paying heavy money on both sides of the corners with Howard and now Jones. Probably the most expensive corner backfield now in the league, definitely.
Yes.
And that's why I kind of, because on the surface, it was like, man, why? But, dude, they got 2 shutdown corners now, dude.
Yeah, well, we hope Howard could be on the field, but yes, that's the idea, right?
That's huge.
It's on your best or your worst?
What was that?
It's on your best or on your worst?
This is on my best, dude. I thought it was a good one. The other one, I like what Carolina did, bringing Bridgewater, jettisoning Newton. You know, I think that was
Newton.
I think it ran its course, right?
Yeah.
He's almost like damaged goods, almost.
I think he may have a renaissance somewhere else, but we'll have to see there, right? I mean,
yeah.
he's certainly on the list of still best available, right? As a talent,
yeah.
Cam Newton out there still is pretty shocking.
Okay. You got your team, right? Let's say you got your starter. Who do you pick up, Cam Newton or Jameis Winston? What do you go for?
Wow, for me, I would probably lean to Newton just because of the experience and the resume, so to speak. But Winston is a heck of a talent. I mean, 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. I mean, that's hard to swallow, but he is the younger player.
He got his eyes fixed.
Yes, maybe the LASIK fixes the whole interception thing. Who knows?
Dude, he threw for over 5,000 yards.
Yes, he did, man. He had 2 monster receivers, which we know who inherited those now, right?
And that brings us to the third person on my list, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. This is my question to you guys. Do you guys think he has the arm strength for those two? And O.J. Howard at tight end.
Yes.
Do you think he has the arm strength for those guys?
That's a very good question, Raul, because his game has been the dink and dunk with those other receivers. And those receivers he has now, Evans and Godwin, they're all kind of deep threats.
Yeah.
So you pose a very good question, and that's going to be a breaker for him. If he can't get the ball down the field, you know, they're going to be wishing they had Winston back because his game was dink and dunk, no doubt.
Yeah. That's the way I see it too. I think with Godwin, I don't think he has a problem. But with Evans, I'm not sold yet. I got to see that connection work, man.
Yeah, I agree there. That's a big question mark.
I'm happy with that move, man. I'm really happy because the Patriots, that has to weaken them. We would have been in the same thing this year, you know, like they're there fighting tooth and nail, you know, and now they're I don't expect them to be good. Who knows? Maybe they get Cam Newton and he turns it around.
Yes, that's a possibility.
But I feel like Brady's going to be worse off and the Patriots are going to be worse off because of that move. I'm still kind of shocked by it.
You know what? You know what does reassure me a bit? Tampa Bay having Arians.
Yes.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Very solid. Always transforms quarterbacks to the next level. It'll be hard to see how he can make a 40-something-year-old quarterback better. But, hey, I think probably Tom said, if I'm going to land somewhere, let me land somewhere where I got two great wide receivers and a pretty decent coach. And that's what he's done. So Tom is not stupid. I hate to say it.
For sure.
All right, my next one is a little weird, but dude, I really like when Cleveland signed Jack Conklin, and that sounds like a nothing. You know, I know Cleveland and all this shit, but I do think they're gonna turn it around. And dude, they got this young right tackle, 3 years, $42 million, and dude, the guy's I think he's 26. I think that's a good move. They got him from
Tennessee.
He was at Tennessee. He was a former number 1 pick for Tennessee. And that's going to hurt Tennessee with their big power running with the big Derrick Henry and shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good move for Cleveland. My next one after that is the Rams re-signed Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle.
Yep.
He's 38 years old, man, but he's the best they got. And if they got any hope after getting rid of the running back, they had to make that move. The next one, Melvin Gordon to Denver.
Wow, yeah, that was a shocker. The Golden, I saw that I think yesterday, right?
Yes.
Going to Denver, who already had Royce Freeman and the guy that you've had on your fantasy team a couple years in a row now. What's his name?
Philip Lindsay.
Yes, Philip Lindsay. So, pretty, they seem to have been set there, and now they bring in Melvin Gordon. So, pretty impressive there. I was shocked by that one.
Listen to this: 2 years, $16 million. How much money do you think this guy lost for holding out last year with San Diego, bro?
Oh, I saw him say something that he regrets it big time. I mean, obviously now, but yeah, he lost money, no doubt.
Now, was this on your list of good or bad moves?
These are all good, man. These are all good. I only got a couple of really bad moves that I
that one, dude. To be honest with you, it's kind of weird that one because they already have kind of some pretty good backs there, dude.
Dude, they got him for nothing. They
did do that. Absolutely.
They got him for nothing. Freeman's been a bit of a little bust. He doesn't have that breakaway speed. He had that great preseason. Everybody loved him. But I
do like Lindsay, though.
I do like Lindsay, too. Lindsay's the star right there. But
yeah, you never know.
Dude, Gordon was going up to trying to get the biggest contract of all the running backs. He was trying to get the biggest money, and 2 for $16 million, bro. Crazy.
Yep.
I'm gonna say a couple of the bad ones. I think the worst that this signing, bro. You just look at it and you're like, what do these people see that we don't see on the field and we can't see with our own eyes? Why can't they see this? Why would Chicago pay Jimmy Graham 2 years, Yeah, 2 years for $16 million.
Yeah, that's up there as one of the worst.
Why?
Yeah, that one's tough. And they also signed Nick Foles to put a fire under Trubisky, which is pretty interesting there.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing about Jimmy Graham. Doesn't it feel like he's kind of been like an underused guy in his last shit, man? Almost since he left the Saints, kind of like doesn't have a lot of mileage on him. Maybe they see something and they think they can. Because you get some old tight ends that can be productive. I mean, look at Martellus Bennett and even Vernon Davis, and Gates, as older tight ends, they've been able to be productive. Maybe they see some, but I agree with you. It sounds like an expensive price tag to pay.
Dude,
Yeah.
what I see, bro, he could barely run.
Yeah. I mean, he's still a big guy, he has some athleticism, but you're right. It's a lot of money for a tight end who's probably more on the downturn of his career than the upside. Definitely. I'm with you.
The other one I really didn't like, bro, because I really like the guy, and I can't remember the guy that they had, and they still have him. But dude, Rivers to Indy, I just think that's another one. Why, bro?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't understand that one either. That would suggest that they're like, a quarterback away. They do have a young team. They've had a lot of good draft picks the last few years, but I don't think Phillip Rivers is the guy that's going to make that team a Super Bowl team,
Dude, I like the guy that they got. That I forget what the guy's name is.
The backup? Or who's the backup now?
Starter. He was the starter that they got
Jacoby Brissett.
Bro, I like that guy.
Yeah.
And he might not be that Super Bowl, maybe draft a quarterback this year and keep him as your starter, but why pay $30 million, dude?
I agree. I would have kept Brissett. I would have still played him and maybe gone for a younger quarterback. Because Rivers, what do you got there? How many years?
Why?
Exactly. I would agree.
Bro, I like Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night, me and the bum, like how much better is Rivers than Brissett, really, if at all.
If at all, dude, exactly.
Weird one.
That one I didn't understand, and that's pretty much it. The other one that stands out is Robert Quinn. That this hurts Dallas. He went from Dallas to Chicago, dude. $70 million, which is crazy. That wasn't he a Dolphin at one point?
Yes, he was.
It was
traded him.
Dolphin,
a Ram, a Dolphin,
and now he's a
Cowboy.
Chicago. It's a good move for Chicago. Hurts Dallas because they needed someone across from DeLawrence.
Yeah.
So
Chicago seems to be, throwing the Hail Mary out there because that coach is probably his seat's getting pretty hot.
Yeah.
Trubisky's been, questionable. They bring in Nick Foles. They add, Jimmy Graham. I think they're kind of reaching them, turn that thing around. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see about that one.
I totally agree. And
some type moves that they're making there when they're just throwing darts to see if like one of them sticks.
I'll tell you what, though, gentlemen. Here's my shocker, right? My shocker is we have a new highest paid tight end in the NFL. Is it the guy from the Chiefs? Is it Kittles from the from 49ers? You know who it is, right?
I don't.
Dude, I think it's Hunter. Is he the guy that
No, actually, he's been franchised.
He's been franchised, yeah.
The highest paid tight end right now is Austin Hooper, signed by the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
that's a shocker.
Yes.
A shocker. I mean, he was good for Atlanta. I get it. But now Kittles is going to sign a deal now. And most likely he'll become the highest, paid tight end. But still, for Austin Hooper, a free agency, to be the highest paid tight end right now, it's a bit of a shocker.
It is.
Let me ask you, because they had the guy from that got injured, which was decent.
Njoku.
Yes.
Yeah. So, is the thinking is he's not going to be ready in time, or
I guess maybe they're kind of putting the fire under his ass. But I mean, when you get the highest paid tight end in the league, you're gonna play him. So I'm thinking David's thinking he's not gonna be playing much.
Dude, where do you rank this guy on tight ends?
Again, he had a good year last year, but man, I don't see him in the caliber of Kittles, Hunter Henry.
None of those guys.
The guy from why can't I remember the Kansas City? I'm having a Buckshot Walter moment here. Randy, help me out. The guy from the Chiefs.
This is Travis Kelce.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't see that guy in that group, right?
But that's another thing, dude. You could find a tight end. Look at Baltimore. They found Mark Andrews. They drafted their number one pick a few years ago was I forget what the guy's name. I think did he come to the Dolphins? No. They had a number one pick that was a tight end. They didn't even use that guy. They used Mark Andrews. The Raiders picked up Waller from practice squad.
Yeah,
I got gonna pay Hooper that much money, man.
It's crazy.
Here's his stats, guys. 75 receptions, 787 yards, 6 touchdowns in 13 games.
I mean, that's respectable, no doubt, but not to be the top paid tight end. And again, that status is going to be changed, right? Kittles is going to sign a new deal. He'll most likely be if he's not the top paid tight end at that point, then something's really messed up. But you would think that still makes Austin Hooper second. I mean, I don't see it. And then of course, like Raul said, Hunter Henry is going to be franchised, who's pretty good, except exactly, injury prone. You got that's been the case with him.
Yeah.
What kind of weapons, man, are they going to have out there now, dude? They just keep getting better, the weapons, but we don't know if they're going to be able to do anything with them finally out in Cleveland.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to keep Kareem Hunt. I mean, that guy is kind of dangling out there too.
Well, they put a tender on him for a second round pick.
Right. So somebody will have to pay a pretty penny for a guy like that, So maybe he stays. He's got to split carries with Nick Chubb, who's like an up and coming talent, So actually, they do have a lot of tools, man. I mean, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Now they got Austin Hooper. Make fun of him as you may, but he's pretty good, or at least he had a good year last year.
Yeah, but
who's coming back, right?
Hopefully, he should be.
Damn, that's fucking stacked, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I like that Conklin, that they got Conklin from Tennessee.
Yeah, they shored up the offensive line. That's like an all-pro player.
That's an all-pro player at a right tackle. If anything, instead of going after Hooper, I would have gotten another guard or something. I would have got some more depth on the offensive line than spend that kind of money on a tight end. When you have those many weapons,
Yeah. I think you mentioned Diggs, right, Raul? That was a pretty big one, right, for Buffalo?
That's more free agency, though. That's more. Wasn't that a trade?
I'm not even sure.
It was a trade, I think.
It was a trade. That's why I didn't bring it up.
It was a trade during free agency, I guess. So, similar to the DeAndre Hopkins thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, I guess, when we get to because those are massive. Those two are massive.
Raul, you got any more, or should we go to the bum and the top 10 remaining guys, or his top remaining guys available? You got any more?
I think let's go to the remaining guys available, because everybody else, there was a few big names, but nothing major. It was a lot of that are going to be backups and special teams players. There's there's a few starters in there. There's still a few starters in there, but not.
I'll tell you.
Who do we get? And Bum, I gotta say, you look like a defensive coordinator or something with the headphones.
I'm probably as old as one too. Thank you, buddy. I think because I was the rookie, Randy gave me the hard list, because I'm looking at this list and it's ugly, man. Of the remaining guys, obviously Cam Newton is top there. Jameis Winston, Clowney is number 3 there. Who hasn't died, man? And after that, I'm going to start reading names to you. And if you guys tell me I know that guy, You guys know more than
All
I
right,
do.
say the name and let's see if we know. Let's try it. Let's try it.
Logan Ryan.
Isn't that guy a YouTuber? No, that's Logan Paul, right?
Right.
He's a slot corner for Tennessee.
There you go.
He's rated the top or number 4 on the available list. You have Mike Daniels from the Lions, defensive tackle. Have you guys heard of that guy? That's what I mean.
No.
Prince Amukamara.
Yeah, he's the corner. He's the
corner.
DB for the Giants.
Yeah, he was the number 1 pick.
So that's number 6. You got old man Jason Peters from the Eagles. That guy is a great left tackle, but he's 38 years old. So that's a tough one. He's rated number 7.
That guy's borderline Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Then you have Everson Griffin from the Vikes, defensive lineman.
Defensive end, yeah.
And we were talking about tight ends. I kind of left this on here to kind of, bring this name back up. You got Delaney Walker at number 9.
Wow.
At tight end. He was injured the year before with a broken ankle. He came back last year. He wasn't really right. And he's a free agent.
That was a nasty break, too. Bro.
Yeah, too. And then finally, at number 10, how could this name still be on any list? But he is Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Wow.
Can I throw one into your list?
Absolutely.
This is a weird one because do we put Antonio Brown on that list?
Bro, forget that guy, bro.
I'll tell you what, I did read something that Arian said there's no way that guy's getting on the Bucs.
Yeah.
All right.
Even though Tom Terrific is trying desperately to get him. He's got a serious man crush on Antonio Brown, and he would love to have that guy playing with him no matter what.
But he said no dice.
Arian said no dice. Now, that scares me. When people say no dice so definitively, I sometimes see that happening exactly the other way, but we'll see, right?
No.
That guy's status, bro.
Bro, for him to say that, Arians coached him for a few years in Pittsburgh.
That's right. Very good.
So he knows him.
Wow.
He's no stranger. That's right,
no
Raul.
stranger. And he said, and
you hit it.
And what he said in those comments, he goes, "We don't something about the, we don't need him in the. Oh my god, in the
meeting room in the huddle."
Oh my god, I can't believe it. We don't need him in the locker room. We don't need him in the locker room, dude. And if he knows him, it's because he knows all his inner workings, bro.
A heck of an indictment, right?
Huh?
A heck of an indictment on Brown there. He knows him. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
If he was ever going to get back in the league, it would have been with a guy like that knew him, because, everybody knows, there's a saying that is escaping me right now, better the bad that I know than the good that I'm yet to meet, so that would have been a great I hadn't even thought about that role until you mentioned it. Somebody who coached them, all right, hey, remember, the old days, man, that's how we got to.
Or even what's the other saying? It's not what you know, it's who you know, or something like that. Yeah.
But not even that is helpful here. So he may be done, dude.
Yeah.
Mejor solo que mal acompañado.
Ahí está.
For real.
Very nice.
I'm gonna give you some of the worst / biggest losers that I think. Not in any particular order. If anybody knows a better one, let me know. But I think one of the biggest losers in this whole thing is the Patriots losing Tom Brady. Not just that, they lost Van Noy to the Finns, who he may be a system linebacker for all we know because he wasn't good in Detroit. We'll find out. Jamie Collins, they lost him too over to the Lions.
Linebacker.
That's a big part of their linebacking core gone. So I think, man, they're due for I saw they did re-sign McCourty, but that guy's a vet, dude, on the back end. He's on the back 9, man. So, they got to be weakened, man. I don't know what you guys think.
Going by what you just said, what do you guys think is going to be the Patriots' record this upcoming year?
6-10.
As it stands right now.
6-10.
And before I say that, The Dolphins actually got 3 Patriots in the deal. There were 2 other ones there. Of course, I only know one other one, Ted Karras, the center, and the other guy is a linebacker too, which Elon something or other. And when we talk about the Dolphins, I guess we could get into that deeper. But they actually lost 3 players. I don't know. As far as the record of the Patriots, man, I have lost so many bets betting against that team. And I'm a Dolphin fan and all that. So, I'm gonna agree with Randy on one point. They have definitely weakened. For me to go beyond to say they're gonna win 5 or 6 games, I don't have the nuts to do that yet, guys. Can't do it.
You got to give me a record, though. You got to throw out something.
I still say they win the AFC East, maybe 10-6, maybe better.
What do you think?
I still think they win the AFC East.
Wow.
I don't think they win the AFC East. I think Buffalo wins it, man. Buffalo is one of my up-and-coming teams. I really like them. Last year, they really surprised me. They're built the right way, and now they got Diggs, which we'll talk about later. But I think Buffalo takes us this year. New England, man, it still depends on see who's going to be their quarterback. But I'm not going to tell you that they're going to tank. I think they beat the Jets. Buffalo sweeps them, and I think they split with the Dolphins next year as far as their division rivals.
Dude, they always split with us, though, man. If there's ever a year that the Dolphins can sweep them, it's got to be this year, man.
I still don't dude, they're still good, man. Their defense was still top-notch last year.
Yes.
What's the win-loss record?
I think they're 8-8.
Based on what we know, that could change. We have the draft coming up. There's guys out there. They're going to make moves. They always make moves.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I love Raul's pick of Buffalo because that makes sense. If the Buffalo Bills are going to make a move, it's got to be this year. We know the Dolphins are rebuilding. We know the Jets are kind of a disaster, even though they have some talent. By the way, they lost Robbie Anderson. That's kind of significant. He went to I think the Panthers. So that's kind of significant. That was kind of their premier receiver there. So Raul's his Buffalo Bills there is not a wild pick there. They're young. They got a quarterback. They add Diggs. I mean, this is the time.
They had Houston on the ropes to win that wild card game, man. That was a great game, man.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
Buffalo a lot.
I think the difference there was probably just Watson was a little bit more, experienced than Allen, but that's going to change, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because Allen, it's like you said, Watson did some amazing plays in that game, but Allen just didn't make the plays that he's going to learn to make, man. Because I like that kid, and I didn't like him coming out of college. I thought it was a bad pick, and dude, was I wrong? I really like that kid, dude. You could tell,
tough
dude,
nails,
tough as nails, and you know who the leader of their Bills are.
Yeah,
it's him, dude.
Agreed.
And they are freaking. I like the coach. I really like the Bills a lot, man. I love what they've done.
Agreed.
But the division's probably more open than it's been,
of course,
in a long time now.
Of course.
The Dolphins have a lot of draft picks, dude. I don't want to say anything stupid or crazy, but the Dolphins got to be better next year, dude. They got to be better than they were.
I think they are. They're going to be. Yeah. If you look at their free agency, it was tiered more towards the defense. They only got 2 offensive players. The rest was, defense. They got probably the best corner in all of free agency. So yeah, they're trying to build up their defense, obviously through free agency, and then they have the draft picks to work on some of the other things. So they should be better. But to Raul's point, Buffalo is ahead of them. And again, it's just hard for me to bet against the Bella Bum, man. That guy's a bastard. I've lost too many bets with that bastard.
It's the beginning of the end. All right. I'm going to move on to number 2 or number 2 of whatever of my list, not in order. Another loser. We've talked about it already. I had it on my list. The Texans in general, dude, are one of the biggest losers here. They lose Nuke Hopkins for next to nothing. Actually, a big price tag because they got to pay David Johnson now.
Mhm.
Which NFL insider bum shifter down there, he was telling me there was whispers they may even try to trade him.
Yeah.
And dude, they signed Randall Cobb for
Yes.
$327 million. Dude,
Yes.
Randall Cobb from 5 years ago. He's going to be 30 next year. He's had one 1,000-yard season under his belt. He may never see another one. It seems like a waste to me. And Bill O'Brien's, he's puzzling, dude. We fleeced him last year on that Tunsil deal, or they fleeced themselves. I don't know what the hell's going on in Houston, dude. It's weird.
Well, I mean, that's one of those examples of when the coach is the GM, right? And it's not working out. And right now, man, that guy's digging himself a grave unless he knows something we're just not seeing. Maybe Hopkins tests positive for drugs and he's suspended. I don't know. But I just can't make sense of that deal. And some of the things that he's done just doesn't make sense, man. Imagine Watson. How pissed does that guy have to be? His premier target is gone. And, who's he going to be throwing to? The guy who's always hurt, what is it, Fuller. And some guy named Kiki Kuti? Come on, man. The guy flashes some good, signs, but still, guy's got to be pissed, man.
Hey, bro, there has to be more to this story, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, the only thing that salvages this, if the guy tests positive, he's suspended maybe because of some tape that they find of him beating up his girlfriend or something. Like, that's the only way this deal makes sense.
So, Gio.
Big G. Cheers.
Cheers.
Gio. A lot of stuff did come out, man, that the coach they're not too happy with that coach, that he told Hopkins some stuff in the meeting and he wanted to meet with them one-on-one. And all I've heard about Hopkins, he's been a class guy ever since he came into the league.
Major talent, man.
Huh?
He's a major talent, man.
He's a major talent. Did you ever guys see that story on HBO about him? Was it HBO? It might have been ESPN, about him and his mom.
No,
dude, that she lost her eyesight. She was attacked by a boyfriend, and
wow,
and so they threw like acid or something in her face, so she's blind. So every time he scores a touchdown, he always takes her the touchdown when it's she's always in the stands.
Wow,
dude, that guy looks like class, bro. There's never been a peep out of that guy, dude. I don't know if there will be. You never know.
I remember this, Ro. I don't know if you guys remember. There was a rift with the owner at one time.
Yes.
Racial issue.
He said some type of slave type comment.
Yeah.
What is it?
Cheers right here from my brother in Puerto Rico.
What's up, Edwin?
Cheers.
Edwin, tell me. Well, you know what? We weren't going to talk about it. Other episode, we'll talk about. I hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, and you know what you brought up, dude, is he's the coach, he's the general manager, he's the guy that cleans the bathrooms, he coaches the wide receivers. It's just too much, bro.
He's got an ass for a chin or a chin for an ass.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it on here,
dude. We got a lot of Bill Belichick impersonators, and there's only one Bill Belichick. Patricia up there in Detroit's trying to. I don't know. Does he have control too over that? But he's signing a lot of. He's getting a lot of former Patriots too. Not only did the Dolphins take some guys off, which I don't even fucking really like that, but whatever. He's taken a lot of players off them for the second year in a row now. I think Jamie Collins went over there, taken along with some other guys. So
Well, to that point, I have to say, Bill O'Brien has probably been the most successful. Bill Belichick, as lousy as he's been with these freaking trades, he's been the most successful on a winning team.
Can you imagine? Good GM
Diggs. You'll have to check this, but Diggs, I believe, on the way out, ripped Patricia, saying he's no Bill Belichick, and his style is just like not cool, right?
Wait a second.
You mean Hopkins, right?
No, you're talking about
no. So let me repeat. So I said Bill O'Brien, probably the best Belichick disciple, right?
Yeah.
And then what I said was when Diggs left Detroit.
No, but Diggs is from
Minnesota. He's from Minnesota.
You're
I'm sorry.
you're talking about Darius Slay, I think.
Darius Slay. There you go. There you go. There
And
you go. Sorry.
It's
Absolutely
okay.
correct.
It's okay.
Patricia went so far as to say when he posted a picture of another receiver, stop sucking that guy's piece, you know,
Yes.
and he got offended by that. And
Slay
like,
is the corner, right?
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Yes,
Wait. Wait.
that
I
guy.
didn't know this. Who said what?
dude, in a meeting, so you know, we all have social
You
media,
got it.
people we respect. Sometimes those people are like your opponents. So he was trying to be Bill Belichick, I guess. He posted a picture of an opponent, a receiver, you know, like praising him or whatever. And he
Right.
said, stop sucking that guy's piece. You know what I mean? What a disrespectful thing to say to another man, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he
Yeah.
just came out with that now that I guess he's a free agent or I don't know what his.
I think he signed somewhere else.
Darius Slay signed. I just can't remember with who, man.
So
Yeah.
I confused that, but the GOAT's absolutely right. And what Slay added to that was, you know, Bill Belichick is very famous for in the meeting rooms when they're watching film, he'll actually rip Tom Brady. He'll
Yeah.
actually in front of everybody, like rip the top players, right?
Mhm.
And I guess you know, Patricia was trying to do that to Slay, and it didn't go well. You know.
No, if it happened, no, I wouldn't say. Does it say that where he went?
He's an Eagle now,
Oh, that's
There
a
you
good
go.
sign for them.
Yes, that guy's really good.
which the Eagles lost their safety. I heard
Yes.
Jenkins back to the Saints, which I guess that was his original team.
Yeah, to the Saints. That guy's a freaking brain, but he's lost a step, man. But that guy's a hell of a fucking player.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Some
There
other
you
guy
go.
jumped in. Yeah, some other guy jumped in after that and said, you know, that he also could. I'll just read the quote real quick. He told me in front of the whole team in the team meeting room, showed clips of me in practice getting cut on me or so in practice. Slay said, I posted a picture of a wide receiver on social media and he told me, stop sucking this man's private. So I'm like, hold up. Where I'm from, that don't fly. Because I wouldn't say that to him. I wouldn't say to stop. I wouldn't say to him to stop. You know what? To Bill Belichick. I wouldn't do that. That's just not me as a man. That's disrespectful to me. And so from there on, I was done with him. I don't think that's the way to get the best out of your players.
Yeah, and you know, I think you could do that if you're a Bill Belichick, but if you're a Matt Patricia, that the biggest thing on your resume has been working for Bill Belichick with a pencil in your freaking head. That's your resume. I think you really can't do that to players like
that can say that.
Slade. Yeah, I don't think you can pull that off.
Yeah, I never liked him. Another reason not to like him. Let me move on to my number 3, which oddly enough is the Detroit Lions. They signed the guy Halapulivati Vatai.
Oh,
I'll say that again. Halapulivati Vatai. 5 years.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, 5 years, 50 million. I think it's a bad pick mainly because I don't know who he is and I have difficulty.
Who is that guy? What position?
He is a lineman, tackle. He's ranked number 56 of 61 tackles in pass block grade. But, you know, this is the Lions, dude. That's what they do, which is make bad decisions. So they're going to uphold that tradition. And, you know, Matt Patricia's part of that tradition. That might be a bad decision they made, too.
They have another interesting situation on their hands. You know, what are they going to do with Matt Stafford? There's rumors that they're going to try to, you know, load up and try to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks in this year's draft and you know, leapfrog the Miami Dolphins. We'll have to see about that. But, you know, that's another situation for them, right? What do they do there?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I think they picked. Don't they have the 3rd pick?
Yes.
They got the 3rd pick, dude. So they're in a prime position. They can take a quarterback.
Mock draft shit if we have time. Well, we'll see that. But, yeah, they do have a pretty high pick for sure. All right, let me give you my number 4, guys. Eric Flowers, 3 years, $30 million. Dolphins. This is almost as bad as the Lions move. At least we had the common sense to only do it for 3 years and not 5.
Yeah.
Again, mainly a bad move because I don't know who the hell this guy is. But when I don't know who you are, that's
Bro, he's a Canes.
is he really?
Yes.
Dude, he was the #1 pick of the Giants. He was like the ninth pick in the draft of the Giants. Total bust.
Yeah, he's been a bust.
He's actually was ranked 18th out of 39 guards, which for the Dolphins, that's got to be an upgrade, right?
For the Dolphins, it would be an upgrade. But I'll tell you, man, if I'm a quarterback, having the 18th ranked guard doesn't get me excited. I'll tell you that.
I'm going to run to number 5 because I got like 3 more and we've kind of been going a long time. I really would like to get into some of the older shit too, which is kind of fun. Buck. Let me not say. You guys remember Jason Pierre-Paul?
Yes.
Is he still playing? Yes or no?
I thought he was for
they re-signed him.
The Bucks signed him 2 years, $27 million. He's ranked
and his 4 fingers.
He's ranked 66 out of 98 edge rushers.
Wow.
This makes him a top 20 paid in the top 20 defenders for salary, but he's nowhere near that.
That's a bit of a shocker. Yeah.
He was injured last year also too.
Yeah, that just seems like a bad move for the Bucks there, but they felt frisky after getting Tommy.
I guess that tells you the premium on edge rushers and
Yeah.
But dude, 66th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is basically the worst. There's only, 2 edge rushers per team starting, right?
Yeah, there's only 64 starters.
Yeah, so this guy's not even good enough to be a starter, and whatever. We'll see. This guy's a good defender right here, and I know what they're doing. The Jags traded Calais Campbell, who's still, even at his age, is one of the best defenders. And I know they're tanking, but damn, I don't like it, man. A 5th-round pick for that guy, it's a steal for the Ravens, who, they like to play that defense. So that's good for them, bad for the Jags, but I know the Jags are doing it purposely.
Yeah. Yeah, Baltimore's they're one of my winners in this free agency and all this. They've done really well, dude. They were good last year.
Yeah. I think they didn't really lose any top players, right?
Not that I know. They might have lost an offensive lineman, but other than that.
Yes, you're right. An offensive lineman. But, when you're that good, you're going to lose good players. The key is not losing a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I like Baltimore, man. Baltimore's going to be good again.
I would think so.
I'm going to go to my last one here. If you guys have some other ones that you don't like, you can throw them in afterwards. I'm on the fence about this one. But I think, and this is one of those scenarios like a Ryan Tannehill that I knew the Dolphins had to get rid of him, but I knew also at the same token, wherever he went, that he was going to, do better than he was doing here. It's one of those weird ones. I think Cam Newton is going to end up being one of those guys where, yes, he probably wore out his welcome and things weren't going well, and they got Bridgewater. I just think that guy's going to end up somewhere and bounce back. He's healthy now, supposedly. And, when he was healthy, at one time, people were talking about him as, top elite level type. He went not too long ago, dude. Not like a Joe Flacco Super Bowl where you have a defense carrying you.
Right. Yeah.
He put them on his back and he took them. So I think he's still young enough. I think that guy's going to make an impact somewhere.
Yeah. I just hope it's not for the New England Patriots. And then the other 2 that we sort of danced around, but we didn't say, Ryan Tannehill got some big money to re-sign for Tennessee. And then, Gurley was cut and picked up by the Atlanta Falcons, which is kind of interesting, which makes their running back, Devontae Freeman, out there as one of those top free agents that's still available, I think.
Yeah.
The Broncos have done well overall. I'm gonna go to Raul so he can give us a little Raider in a minute, a little Raider Nation stuff in a minute. Any other moves you guys kind of caught your attention? You liked, you didn't like, whatever.
It wasn't free agency, but the retirement of the center Frederick for Dallas, I think that is a massive. I just think everything Dallas has done is just crazy. Paying the money and all this, their offensive line is getting up there in age and starting to grow, and they haven't really done anything about it. And now they lose that center was all world. Bro.
Yeah, and Raul, they re-signed Amari Cooper, I think, and they still have not signed Dak Prescott. So they
franchised him.
Exactly. So that's kind of a talk about inconclusive, right? Or not finished.
Dude, they could have signed him like a year ago for so much less money.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to pay him now.
Speaking of a year ago, I don't even think that Ezekiel Elliott deal was such a good deal for them either, dude. That's put them in a bad spot where they can't maybe pay Dak as easily. And not that I don't think he's like top 5 elite or anything like that, but I'd rather have if I had my pick, hey, you can only have Dak or you can only have Zeke. I probably take Dak just because that running back position is a little bit easier to fill.
Absolutely. That quarterback position is premium compared to running backs. They always say dime a dozen, right? Quarterbacks are premium. So yeah, I would agree.
And just think about this. Let's say they signed Dak last year when all that shit was going on. He didn't have that monster year. They would have got him at a good price. They would have paid him well. Maybe they keep Brian Jones from going to the Dolphins. Because that's a hit, man. That was their number one. He was like the 27th pick for them in the first round when he came out. That guy's good, dude. He went to Connecticut. He went to Connecticut. He's like a Rhodes Scholar, this guy. This guy is just not just. This guy is smart, man. And just to lose those character guys from your team, it hurts everywhere, man.
Yep, no doubt.
For sure. Any other ones that struck you guys? I know Xavier Rhodes went to the Colts, corner, former Viking, but he was on the decline. We talked about Diggs a little bit.
Eric Ebron, did he go to the Steelers?
Yes.
Did he?
Okay.
That's pretty good for them, you know?
Yeah, it is. Well, think about it. They're going to get a burger back. Falcon. You would think Juju will bounce back. That running back, I'm horrible with names, but that guy's good.
Connor.
Connor. He's going to come back. But you guys haven't mentioned somebody the Dolphins got that I'm kind of excited for the Dolphins. But they got Shaq Lawson.
Yes, they did.
I think that's a great pickup for the Dolphins, man, and it hurts both the Bills.
Yeah,
I think that was a good pickup for them, man.
I think that's good.
Which one, Raul?
Pick too.
Shaq Lawson. He's like a hybrid linebacker, defensive end. He's young. He's like 26. He's like 26.
First, I'm going to help you, dude. I'm even going to.
And the trees all shake and quiver and quake.
There you go. Got to be one of the great songs of a team.
Just for fun. He'll knock you around.
I didn't see that. Too cool, bro.
A little Raider Nation, dude. What's the Raiders doing? What's the Las Vegas Raiders doing?
Dude, I was telling the bum before, man. I really like everything they're doing, dude. I love their draft last year. They still got I should have looked it up, but they got a ton of money. They're way under the salary cap, so they got room, and they're not just wasting that money on whatever free agents out there and all that. The free agents that they got was Nelson Aguilar, which they need a receiver. They got Marcus Mariota for practically nothing. You know what? If worst comes to worst, he's a backup. He'll give Carr some competition, which I like. And then, dude, they got some linebackers. They got a safety, a defensive end. They didn't go crazy.
Did they get Witten?
They got Witten, and he ain't gonna do shit. I'm not. He's another Jimmy Graham, but I love his character in the freaking locker room, man.
They got Jason.
They haven't had it. Yeah, they haven't had a tight end, and God knows when.
Well, but they had Waller last year, man. That guy came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they signed him. He was a 1,000-yard receiver last year.
Yeah,
he was a receiver, but they re-signed Richie Incognito, which he's a Raider. You could tell he's a perfect Raider.
I love that guy. I don't care how crazy he is. I loved him as a Dolphin. I loved him as a Bill. I loved him as a Ram.
And I love him as a Raider, dude.
Absolutely.
Look, if you're a football player and one guy's getting bullied and one guy's the bully, I want the bully. Give me the bully.
Absolutely.
Give me the bully, dude. Exactly.
I know it's not socially accepted, but in the game of football, it's a game of bullies, and you want the bully on your side.
Yeah.
Dude, you want the alpha male, the alpha males.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude. And as far as people they just lost a lot of like backups and whatnot. And the biggest one they lost was Carl Joseph, which was a hard-hitting safety, but he wasn't the best in coverage, but he was a freaking enforcer.
Where did he play before?
Houston?
No, he was always a Raider. He was.
Okay.
They drafted him in the first round.
Do you remember? I can look it up.
Don't remember. I think it was in one of the East schools, but I don't remember, dude. But he was a number 1 pick. But they replaced him last year in the draft with that hard-hitting hard-hitting safety. I think it was Abram or something that he got hurt, and he's coming back. He should be fine. So, dude, I like what they're doing. They got the 12th pick. They got the 19th pick right after the Dolphins at 18, and then they got 3 third-round picks that they could easily, they could probably do something, and if they want to move up or something, they got some ammo there to move up. And I'm really liking what they're doing. They're getting, they're spending wisely. Antonio Brown, probably the best thing that ever happened was that he did freaking just go off, man. A good riddance. I think that made him even better, man, because they didn't have to rely on his ass. Yeah. And it saved a ton of money.
Yeah.
Cut your losses sometimes is better than.
Absolutely, man.
But no, and I'm really good. The other rookies from last year were freaking pretty good.
Yeah, Waller was just spectacular, man.
He was a stud, man. The Jacobs at running back was amazing.
Jacobs is excellent.
Dude, I like what they're going. Their offensive line is good. Their defense is they got to pour it into the defense, and hopefully with one of those 2 first-round picks. Bro, I want a receiver, man. I want that.
I was gonna say that's what they're missing, right? Like the stud receiver,
bro.
The really go-to guy.
Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. That kid looks like a freaking AJ Green coming out.
Yeah, that guy's a badass. Hey, wait a minute. Is AJ Green a freaking?
They tagged him.
They tagged him. Okay. Sorry.
He's still with Cincy.
Dude,
that's shocking. He stayed there.
Right.
Why did the Raiders get rid of Amari Cooper?
I really don't know, but
they got picks, right?
They got a number 1 pick, which I think that's where they got Jacobs. It was either Jacobs or the safety. I can't remember that guy's name because he got hurt early, but I like him too. And dude, it's just clearing the cap, man. They didn't have to pay no big money. They didn't have to. And remember, when he was there, he had a lot of injuries when he was with the Raiders.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, to me, Cooper seems a little boomer bust, right? Yeah. I mean, it seems like one week he's spectacular, the other week he's pedestrian. He probably, I'm going to go out on a limb without looking at the statistics, he may have had his best year with Dallas, and that wasn't maybe incredible, but still, I just kind of found him boomer bust.
What he had in Dallas, he had like 2 or 3 big ass games.
Yes,
monster games.
Games, like, bro.
3 touchdown games and shit like that. He had.
Yeah,
that's what he had with Dallas. He had some monster freaking games, and then he would disappear for 3 for 40 the next week, or 3 for 27, or something like that.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think mainly what they got rid of him. They got rid of all those other guys. They just wanted their own guys in, man, and save money. They didn't want to pay the big bucks and without really knowing these people. And they got
That's a common one where the coach wants to have his players and kind of build with that. And Randy's strapped on the helmet, if I could say that.
Randy's back.
Easy.
Miami, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no
Not
one's
the Raiders song, but who could say they have a banjo and southern twang in there?
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm proud, to be honest with you.
More a sign
before
of
we move
deliverance.
the Dolphins, give me a prediction record-wise. What do you think the Raiders? What were they last year, and what do you think they're going to be this year?
Hialeah, you want to take that first?
Dude, just going by what Flores did with nothing. What were they? 5-11?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think.
I want
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Dolphins.
wait, you're saying the Raiders or the?
No. I'm going to ask you that later, but right now I want you to give me the Raiders. What do you think the Raiders? What were the?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
And-
the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think they were 8-8. I think they were 8-8 or 7-9. I'll put them at 9-7.
This year, 9-7,
Yeah.
Las Vegas first year.
Yeah, 9-7.
That may even be a playoff spot. We don't know. All right, so we're going to talk about the Dolphins here real quick. We already mentioned Cal Van Noy. We mentioned corner from the Cowboys, Brian Jones, allegedly a top 5 corner. We have the most expensive backfield, at least cornerbacks in the NFL probably right now. We talked about Eric Flowers that we don't like. What else do we have on the plate there for the Dolphins this offseason?
Well, the only other offensive player that they got was Jordan Howard, the running back from the Philadelphia Eagles, formerly, I believe, of the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Not real excited for me on that. I mean, he's more of a plotter. He's consistent, but not spectacular. So, we'll see, right? I mean, they needed to add somebody else. It's kind of depressing that they give up a talent like the guy who went to
Drake.
Yes, Drake, that went to the Cardinals, Kenyon Drake. But that's how it is. We have Jordan Howard now, and we'll see how that works out.
I like Howard. I liked him when he was in Chicago. He had 3 1,000-yard seasons to start his career.
Yeah, no, he's not a deadbeat, but certainly not a.
He's what?
Dude, but that Kalen Balaj was a crap, dude, last year.
Yeah.
He can't be worse than him. I don't know.
But their free agency, like I mentioned before, was heavily, tilted towards defense. They got 3 ex-Patriots, Ted Karras, the center, this guy named Elan Roberts. Do you guys even know who that is?
No.
And obviously Van Noy. So, I don't know if the rumor is they wanted to play for Brian Flores. I don't know if it was that or the fact that the Miami Dolphins had the most money to spend in free agency. I don't know, right? But that's what they got, right? We'll see.
Van Noy.
Hialeah had mentioned about, that they did so well last year with what they had. That's true, but man, they lost a lot of the coaches that actually put that together, right? They lost their offensive coordinator, I think. They lost their offensive line coach. So, they didn't really keep their staff together either, which is concerning if you really praise them for doing such a great job last year with what they had.
They had nothing.
Exactly, which I agree. They did a good job, but at the same token, then they lost a lot of their coaches. So we'll have to see if that sort of balances itself out with the talent that they bring in.
What do you think they're going to end up
What do you
with?
think about Van Noy? What do you think about Van Noy?
Wow, there's a
What are we
history
getting?
of us getting. There's a history of us getting, Patriot players are just kind of these players that are known in other teams, and them being like a big crap on our team. So we'll have to see. Hey, if it works out, they have a pretty good linebacking core with McMillan, the Jerome. Can't think of it right now. Help me out, bum.
Dude, I don't know any of the
Baker.
Dolphins.
Baker, and then Noy in there. I like what Hialeah said about Shaq Lawson. That's a nice pickup. They needed an edge rusher. That guy's kind of like that dual threat.
Yeah.
They got another defensive lineman. I can't think of what his name is, but they did get another one. They got a safety also because they lost Rashard Jones, right?
Yeah. What do you think the record's going to be?
Yeah.
The record?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, with a crap ass team trying to tank half the year or more, we're 6-10. The second half of the year, I hate to be the optimistic fucking cuckoo bird Dolphin fan, but it's the truth. They ended up with a better record at the end of the year than for the last 7 games than the Patriots. I think they were 5-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5-2 last 7 games, something like that.
Maybe so.
You'd have to think they can go 8-8, man, at least.
I was going to say 7-9, 8-8 is certainly plausible.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too. That's the number I had, 7-9.
And they lost. They played a few close games. Remember, there was the one where like he didn't go for Tank, and NFL. There's close games, dude. You throw a couple things here and there. Maybe you're 9-9, maybe you're 9-7, and you squeak in. I'm not saying, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but it's the NFL, dude. You never know.
Yeah, I think also too, what's a factor in their record is obviously going to be that the Patriots should be less, right, than what they've been. I have to agree with Hialeah. I think the Bills are the up and coming, team in that division. But still, there's an opportunity there to expand on their wins, no doubt.
Of course.
And it's plausible. 7-9, 8-8 is not ludicrous, but we'll have to see.
I don't know.
What is it? That's why they play the games.
That's why they play the games.
They play the games. I got some of the things real quick. I'll go on the screen. I can. Some of the other signing. Can you guys see that? Is it too small?
Yeah, that
Elondon Roberts.
I don't know who the hell that is. He's a Patriot. That's all I know.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys.
That's what I want. Jordan Howard, Byron Jones, Shaq Lawson, Kyle Van Noy. I just hope Kyle Van Noy is not another in the long line of failed linebackers that we've had here in free agency, like John Grimsley, Lawrence Taylor, Joey Porter,
click on Van Noy.
Wheeler.
Click on Van Noy.
What was the guy that
you want to know how old
on us from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, how long has he been in the year in the league?
Timmons. I think Van Noy's like 28 years old. He's it's gonna be his 6th season this year.
Yeah.
He was born in 91.
91.
Old, right?
I like it then.
Adrian Colbert. They signed a DB named Adrian Colbert, which I think is late show on CBS also or something like that.
That Cammy something Hill. Who the hell is that?
Cammy Kruger Hill.
Wait a minute, that's something else, buddy.
They're all there for depth. Special teams.
I'm seeing somebody doing yoga there.
And he's a DB. He was by
Kamuguruka Hill.
he was drafted by the Patriots.
Another Patriot. So that's kind of
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, original. Yeah, I mean, we got him from the Eagles, but he was originally a Patriot draft pick. We did release Mike Hall. We did release Jones, like you mentioned. All right. Let's see if we can get any like NFL draft type of preview. All right. So real quick, while I'm looking this up, guys, if you got to give me like your favorite and your least favorite move, all the moves. What are you giving me? If you want to go first, Hialeah, what do you got?
Free agency and signings or trades?
Free agent period move.
Free agent?
Whether it's a trade or a signing.
The biggest one is
or just move overall.
Dude, Arizona with that trade getting Hopkins for Kyler Murray, they instantly upgraded their team more than anybody. They signed Drake, who had talking about monster games. Drake had monster games, bro.
Yeah.
And they just solved a lot of their problems, man. In one fell swoop, still keeping their number 1 pick. All they gave up was they gave up nothing. A 4th. I think it was a 4th. And they gave up nothing, dude. And a couple of players. So, yeah, Arizona's my big – that move was amazing. And other than that, dude, the move – I think the Diggs signing by Buffalo was a great freaking move for them, man. That's what that team needed was that kind of receiver. And, dude, they're going to be a tough team, bro. Buffalo's going to be a tough team.
Even better, probably, with that other added thing to their game there. What do you like the least? What's the one you like the least? You already said that. Sorry, you did say it.
The Hopkins.
Yeah. All right. How about you, Bob?
Man, I'm gonna be lock, stock, and barrel with Hialeah. The worst has to be the Hopkins deal. I love the Diggs move. I think that's a solid move. And there's something to say about a move that hasn't been made yet, and that's the Cam Newton move. I think if that guy lands in New England, man, that's a problem. And really, wherever that guy lands, could really change the landscape of that team as soon as he lands wherever that is, right? I mean, that could be a potential game shifter there, right? So,
and you guys have kind of swayed me because I didn't know how much he had in the tank, but there's a lot of Cam Newton haters. And remember the Super Bowl, he didn't want to talk to the media, and he's always been like a sore loser and all this.
He wears those ridiculous costumes, / fashionable clothes.
Yeah, but you know what? I just think he's immature.
Yeah.
But as a player, dude, I've always loved him. I loved him since Auburn, bro. He was dude. I want him to do well, and I'm
sorry,
I need you guys.
We got Abraham Blicke here. Sorry, Hialeah.
I really need you guys. I think he's gonna do well. I don't want to know when you stuck where you interviews.
He's being fashionable.
But dude, Cam Newton is how old is this dude? He ain't that old, maybe? Bro.
Is he 30?
Let's see.
Is he?
He's
28,
man.
He's 30.
He's 30.
Yeah, he's 30. But dude, look at Tom Brady, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the beating that this guy's gone through, though, man, it's not the same.
No, and I would think his style is going to change a little bit in his age. I'll tell you, man, it just sounds like Belichick managing that guy. That could be dangerous.
That would be dangerous. Period.
Yeah. All right, dude. The thing that I like the least, and it's weird because I hate this team, and yeah, for sure, the Hopkins thing is baffling. But I never thought the Patriots would not come to terms with Tom Brady, dude. That's just fucking earth shattering for me personally. That's just crazy, man. Did you guys ever think that was a real possibility?
No, I did not.
Let me skirt the question this way. So for years, people have said, what's the important thing there? Is it the coach, Belichick? Is it the quarterback? Well, Belichick certainly put it out there that he is the most important thing by getting rid of probably the greatest quarterback, whether you like it or not. And I'm a Dolphin fan. I hate it. Whether you like it or not, he got rid of the greatest quarterback of all time, saying to everybody else that what counts there is him. So he made that statement, and now we'll see, right? Brady to the Bucks, Belichick in New England with God knows who. We'll see who really is the important guy there.
And if we end up with a Bucks Patriots Super Bowl, could that ever happen? No, right?
No. It could
yes, NFC, AFC.
Yeah, it could happen.
It could happen mathematically, but could it really happen? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think the other side.
Yeah, no. They got to get through the Saints and a lot of other teams first.
All right, guys, let's look at this draft real quick because, this free agency thing. Who's getting the most help here? The Finns got a lot of picks, dude. This mock draft, which is just the main one that comes up here on Google. I don't know who made it, to be honest with you. They got the Dolphins taking Tua. Who do they have the Raiders taking here? CD Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's speedster.
Yeah.
You know who's the big winner there, dude? Arizona. They got Hopkins.
Yes.
They got Drake, and now they got what, the 8th pick?
Yes.
They could get that nice offensive tackle, which they need because their offensive line is like among the worst, and gave nothing up. They still got their number one, dude. They're still good.
So earlier in the show, we were talking about, I said something like the Lions leapfrogging the Dolphins, and you guys probably looked at me like, well, the Lions are already ahead of the Dolphins, but let me explain that. So there's rumors, right, that the Dolphins will try to get that number one pick or even get up to number 2 to get what they want, right? Well, the Lions are the X factor in there in trying to also move up to either 2 or 1 if possible. Because supposedly, they're not going to go with Stafford anymore, and they may be in the hunt for one of the top quarterbacks. So that's sort of a kind of an X factor there.
You're right, because they can flip it with Redskins.
They have them taking a corner here.
Yes.
I guess to leave the void, Slay left. Do you think that they might turn that into is it a sure thing, Burrow to the Bengals? Like that's it. They're going to take him, right?
It sounds that way. Well, certainly from the Bengals side it does, but can they be, coaxed off that with if the Lions or the Dolphins or somebody else just throws the house to them? Can they convince them away from that? Or even the Redskins, right? The Redskins, they picked Dwayne Haskins last year, so it's unlikely they'll get a quarterback. So can somebody want to get up to that number 2 spot and throw the house at the Redskins? Does it make sense? I don't know.
All right, I got a question for you guys, being Dolphin fans. Knowing what you went through last year, you're in a rebuilding mode. You're at number 5. They're projecting 4 to 5 quarterbacks going in the first round. You got 3 number 1 picks, a number 2. You got a freaking ton of. Do you throw the house or do you freaking build your team? Do you throw the house and move up to get who? Tawa Taglabua, whatever his name is.
I don't like him, dude. I'm gonna go on the record real quick. I'm not a big fan I gotta tell you.
I cannot hitch my train to a guy that's so injury prone. I can't.
So do you do that trade? Do you trade up?
I don't.
I don't. Not for him, because here's what I don't like about him. We've had bad luck with Alabama. He's on the shorter side, even though, everybody throws Russell Wilson in my face.
Drew Brees.
That's Russell Wilson. There's only one Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
He's injury prone. He's a lefty. Name me how many good NFL lefty quarterbacks can you name me?
Steve Young.
That's what comes to mind. And then it goes off the cliff. Boomer Esiason,
Michael Vick.
I don't know. Was Tarkenton a left-hander? I'm not sure if he was or not.
He was, dude.
Was Staubach a left-hander?
I don't think so.
No.
Then there's not much, bro.
Exactly. I think you said it, hi, Leo. Steve Young.
Steve Young, yeah, that's basically it. So you guys don't. I don't make that trade either, man.
I mean, the guy that I would like to get, being that I probably won't be able to get a quarterback, is the guy from Ohio State, the defensive lineman, Chase. Is it Chase Young?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that guy is a game changer. After that, I would sit pat at number 5 and just try to get the best player available and keep my picks and try to fill as many holes as I can.
That's what I do too, man. That's what I would have done. I would do too.
No reason to go crazy, dude.
What do they got the Dolphins picking at 18?
They have them projected picking an offensive lineman here, Mekhi Becton out of Louisville.
Mekhi Becton sounds like a bookie in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Go see Mekhi down the street over there in the corner.
Go to Mekhi Becton. He'll hook you up.
We got another safety from Alabama here projected.
Oh, Jesus.
26 pick, Xavier McKinney. I'm not going to be the coach of Alabama. I don't know how many times I got to say it. So the Raiders they're projecting them to get a corner here, Jeff Gladney out of TCU, and that receiver. So you got 2 first picks.
That's nice for the Raiders, man. They're sitting pretty also, very similar to the Cardinals, I think, because they already have some things, a nucleus, something they can build around.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too. I'm excited about it. New stadium. I like it.
Sin City, man. How could you go wrong? It's perfect for the Raiders.
Raiders in Sin City, bro. What a match.
Dudes, we're going to do an NFL show. I'm going to do an NFL show for post-draft because I don't know enough to fucking beat Mel Kiper, but, after the fact, it'll be easier. So I think we'll cut it on the NFL draft there. The story's still to be written with more free agents and drafts. Let's look back a little bit back in the day before we wrap this up at some of the worst and best signings. We'll just start with like free agent signings, both with our teams and the NFL.
Jesus.
You can do a whole show on the Dolphins.
I mean, we need a separate show for that, brother. I mean,
put us back up, buddy.
Huh? I remove this thing.
I mean, with the Dolphins, my God, we'd have to. We need like 5 shows, a 5-part series. I mean, I'm thinking of Teal Green and
he got hurt early, man.
Yeah, there's always a reason, but still, man, there's a long list. David Boston, I think that guy was a terrible free agent on 2 teams. That's how bad that guy was. I think he went to the Chargers from the Cardinals at one point and is rated like a horrible free agent there. So we got him the second time around.
Yeah, Teal, I'm going to give him not a free pass. He was injured. Right. He was already injury prone. They should have never fucking drafted him. And Boston, Boston, we should have fucking known, dude. We signed him after he was already a bust, dude. Like, come on. But, dude, number 1 all time has to be Albert Hainsworth, man. Remember him?
Yes. The guy with mental issues.
Titan. He used to step on people and shit. He
Yeah.
was like Dominic and Sue before.
That guy
Sue.
was dying not too long ago, I believe.
Hainsworth?
Of like he had hypertension or diabetes or the guy was in sad shape, man.
I'm gonna look him up and see if he's still out there. But the freaking Redskins gave him a ton of money, dude, and I think he played like 20 games. He's still alive.
You know what I forgot too? That is also rated like as a bad pick. Deion Sanders to the Redskins. That's rated up there pretty high too as a bad one.
Deion Sanders to the Redskins.
Yeah. Did you even remember that?
No, I didn't.
Exactly. That's how bad that was.
Oh wait,
Yeah, but I didn't remember it being that bad.
Didn't Deion go to Baltimore too?
I think so. Yeah.
Later,
when he was old.
Later.
I remember and he wasn't actually too. Did he win the Super Bowl with Baltimore? He might have been there for that year that they won it the first time.
No, that was like 20. Well, that was 2000, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think he
I
might
don't
have been.
think
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
He was either a Redskin or that may have been when the Redskins signed him. Actually,
maybe
2000, and I think the Ravens won it in 2000.
He was a Falcon, a Niner, a Cowboy, a Redskin, and a Brown in that order, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, it wasn't the Ravens. God, I don't remember him being
Brown.
Ravens. It's the
he was with the Ravens?
Yeah, I'm going to show you right now. Yeah, there you go, right here. I don't know if you can see that part of the screen right there.
Yeah, he ended with the Ravens.
Yeah, he's a two-time Super Bowl champion, but those championships had to have been the one with the Niners and the one with the Cowboys.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, he was
one year or another.
Dallas stole him from the 49ers, man. He was like a hired gun.
Yes.
It was just
literally the hired gun.
All right, some more busts here. Again, you go, Raul. You got some. I got some Raider ones here, but you should do them.
As free agent? Well, we talked about earlier Larry Brown.
Yeah.
The thing about the Raiders, I don't think too much about the free agents. I just think about the freaking horrible drafts that we had and the players that we gave up. Like I remember the year that Robert Gallery came out. I forget who the quarterback was, but it was a monster freaking quarterback that went first. Robert Gallery went, I think, second, and then it was Larry Fitzgerald, just monsters. And then the other year, dude, just the people that they could have drafted. They took Jamarcus Russell, and it was Adrian Peterson went number 5. It was like 4 Hall of Famers and Jamarcus Russell. You know, it's like, come on, bro.
Here's what I'll say about Russell, dude. He had come off that amazing game where he beat USC, who was stacked and full of all those cheaters and that fucking team and that coach. So I can see how they were excited with him, man. They should know better.
They should know better because they always go for that. Larry Brown, one big game. Darius Haywood-Bay, he's super fast. It's like, dude, come on, man, open your eyes.
So
I feel like Raiders. Sorry, go ahead, Bum.
I'm sorry. I had a couple of other ones here that go by years that we probably forgot about. Javon Walker signs with the Raiders in 2008. That's one. Remember Amon Green to the Texans in 2007. I forgot all about that one.
Yeah, bad one.
Antoine Randall L. with the Redskins. The Redskins have a few. Kerry Collins to the Raiders.
Yes, getting back to the Raiders, I feel like, no disrespect.
It's okay.
And dude, I'm a Dolphin fan, so like I know all about
It's okay.
I feel like they go to the store to buy something and they're like, hey, what's the best brand? Like they don't read the reviews, they don't fucking like, what's the best? Give me the best thing you got. And they just buy it. Like
Go, I got to tell you, go to defend the Raiders here. When I look at this list, and I'm particularly looking at the guys that have the most, tend to be the Redskins. Jeff George.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's in 2001.
I got
Deion Sanders to the Redskins is considered one.
How about this guy, Dana Stubblefield?
Dana Stubblefield in 98 to the Redskins. I'm telling you, the Redskins have more, I'm going to say, than anybody else. I got to think that. Scott Mitchell to the Lions.
The Lions are not a good one too. It's got to be Raiders, Redskins.
Dude, that Scott Mitchell wasn't a bad initially, dude. He threw for a freaking ton of yards that first year. He had the freaking Barry Sanders. He had the receivers was Herman Moore and the other guy from the Perryman. Dude,
Yes,
that was a good team. And then after that, yeah, they went down. But dude, they were
Clark.
yeah,
I think Robert Clark, who later was a Dolphin.
yes.
they were bad.
Only when he was bad, because that's when we get free agents when they're bad.
Yeah. The thing that the Raiders get the bad free agents. The Dolphins' problem is everybody that leaves becomes a superstar once they leave.
Exactly.
That's where it goes. That's the difference.
We're
For sure.
tortured on different levels there.
Here's a bullet that the Raiders dodged. Namdi Asamoah to the Eagles.
Watch
He
your
was a
mouth.
stud on the Raiders and just became a bum on the Eagles, dude.
Dude, on the Raiders, he was a perennial All-Pro.
Yes.
It was him and the guy from the Jets, Revis Island. They were like 1 and 2 as the top corners. I mean, he was amazing. He was when he was at the Raiders, but I think with him it was the system that they played. They took him out of that system. He went to an Eagles, and he was nowhere near the same player. But yeah, Namdi Asamoah.
Wow. I'm glad you guys said that and not me.
Yeah. Daryl Gardner was a bad signing for the Broncos, former Dolphin. That ended up being real bad. He didn't really do.
AKA Pudding.
Yeah, they used to call him Pudding. That's how soft he was.
Yeah, dude. But do you remember what he looked like?
Yes.
That
I
guy
would
looked-
not want to take a shower next to that guy.
I
I
would
wouldn't call him Pudding.
I
to
would
his
not call him pudding to his face. Exactly.
No.
That guy was a mountain of a.
Yeah, he was like 6'7", almost 300 pounds.
No, it was just like he was jacked. He was on.
Maybe I'm exaggerating because I've had too many bourbons.
That guy was jacked up.
This is how fucking tough that guy was. He shot in the face, right? Remember the bum?
You
He
kind of
got
broke
shot
up
in
there.
the face. He got
Oh,
shot
yes.
in the face
Did
with
he?
a gun. Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Ooh, I never knew that.
Yeah, because if you're gonna mess with that guy, you have to start off by shooting him. You're not gonna do hand-to-hand combat. You gotta. Okay, we're gonna shoot you right off the bat because this guy is a mountain,
You don't go for the face.
and he survived.
Dude, he's a monster, bro.
What's that guy's stats?
I was going to show a picture of him.
Bum, what's
Daryl
his
Gardner.
measurables? If I could say that.
Put up a picture of Gardner.
Gardner?
What's his stats? I'm thinking like
All right, here, hold on. Here we go.
6'5", 300 pounds.
Dude, put up some pictures of the
First,
guy,
let me
dude.
show you a visual. That's Daryl Gardner.
And he had the head that looked like he was a wrestler. He had the wrestler head. You know, it looked like he had gotten slit.
Yeah.
That's not him.
No, wait. That first one is him.
Yeah, that first one's him.
Yeah. What's his stats, dude? That guy was huge,
Here's the
bro. And he was a tackle, and he was pretty athletic for a tackle.
Dude, look at that
Oh.
head.
He's got the freaking layers of skin on his head there.
Dude, it looked like he got sliced up.
Yeah, that's a big man, dude.
That guy was a monster, bro.
That's not the guy that you would want to run into in the alley.
That's not
No
the guy you
doubt.
think about putting into his face.
No way.
It's fucked up that guy's nickname ended up being Pudding, dude. How soft does he have to be for that to end up being his nickname, dude?
Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
6'6", 295 pounds.
Yeah, that's a big person, man.
He only had
That-
19 sacks on his career.
That's why you shoot him in the face first. At 6'6",
All right, I'm gonna
nearly
shoot him in the
300
face.
pounds.
And I got a good bust here, dude, and it involves the Dolphins, and it involves another team that we've talked about. They're kind of bad divisions, dude. The Texans gave Brock Osweiler
Ask why.
4 years, $72 million. Repeat
And
that.
then
4
I
years,
think they,
7.
and then I think they traded a draft pick to get rid of him to the Cleveland Browns.
15 picks, 16 touchdowns, and then the Dolphins ended up. Remember, he left the Broncos high and dry after the Super Bowl after Manning retired.
He won a few games for the Dolphins. We were there, bum. We saw it in person.
Yeah, he did.
And that's when I poured
Some
more
more, but you
bourbon
guys
in
want-
my
you-
glass.
Go ahead. You got any more, Raul?
As far as what?
And
Flacco.
free agent signings?
Flacco, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
When Baltimore re-signed him for all that freaking money, it pretty much just they put their whole team, it set everybody back, man. And he wasn't that talented.
Or how about last year when he signed with the Denver Broncos?
And then when he went to the Broncos, it's moves that you're like, dude, I'd rather be without that guy. Why make that move, man? It just does not make sense.
Multiple busts.
It just does not make sense, man.
I got another multiple bust guy. This guy, he may be the biggest free agent bust back to back. This record may never be broken. Antonio Brown, dude, he with the Raiders. 1 game later, he busted with the Patriots. You know, I know there was a lot of other shit involved, but you got to label that a bust, dude. He busted for you guys, and he busted for them with a lot of crazy other shit. But the bottom line is he signed and he didn't fucking play. They didn't waste the money, maybe, or there may be claims, but Jesus Christ, dude, that's going to go down in history.
That has to go down in history as the most for sure thing that failed, right? Because that guy is undisputably a good player that failed twice, not once, twice.
But
yeah,
failed as what? He just lost it?
Didn't play anymore, right?
Lost his head? Just went
Coco.
He went Coco. The Dolphins had a famous one for that. Didn't they get that guy from Minnesota and then he ended up being naked running through the streets or some shit?
Oh yeah. They've had a couple of guys that went insane. A few years ago, the linebacker from Pittsburgh, Tim, what is it, bum? Help me out here. I'm having a Joe Biden moment. What?
Timmons.
Lawrence
Timmons.
And then I think the guy that Hialeah is talking about, and this may be
Greenwood or something like that.
Demetrius something.
Demetrius, yeah, that was his first name. Green something or that he
Maybe Demetrius Greenwood. Underwood. That's it.
Underwood.
He played for the Cowboys and I think the Vikings.
Yeah, he started with the Vikings. The Dolphins got him from the Vikings.
How about wasn't Alonzo Spellman also a Dolphin, or am I confusing that?
Yes,
you guys remember Alonzo?
He was a bear, and he was
definitely a bear.
Crazy too, right?
Yes.
Spellman, that was another physical specimen.
Yes, we had another running back that also went nuts for us during the Jimmy Johnson years. Well, we had two. We had Lawrence Phillips, and we had the guy from LSU that was crapping in girls' closets.
Oh, that's right.
Or peeking in girls' closets.
No. You're confusing your guy. Cecil
I'm
Collins,
confusing-
Cecil the Diesel.
And Najee Davenport. I'm
Back in
confusing
Davenport
them.
was shitting in people's closets.
Yes.
Wait,
and,
wait. I
and
didn't know that.
Cecil Collins was peeking at girls changing.
And Davenport was taking dump.
Yes.
Oh, dude. What happened to the wholesome Dolphins of the 70s?
Cecil the Diesel.
Diesel. Yeah, Cecil the Diesel.
He was hiding in girls' closets watching them change. And then Najee Davenport was taking a dump in people's closets.
Oh my god, it's so funny, bro.
What do you got there, bum?
This is
Oh.
a big hit that was done to Antonio Brown.
Oh,
by-
yes.
by,
This is the
uh,
theory
Vontae
here, right?
Perfect. And a lot of people say this hit caused some
Put him
major
in
damage
cuckoo
to
land.
his brain, dude, and he's starting crazy.
I've been he went through some mental episode, definitely.
Yeah, that
Let's see if they show this in slow motion.
That didn't make no sense.
Look at this hit.
did that guy become a Raider at some point?
Yeah, and he got suspended after like week 5 of this year, and he's a free agent right now. He got reinstated, but he's a free agent.
That guy was like from the Raiders of old school, man.
Yeah. But he won too many hits, won too many violations, and he's pretty much 1 foot out the door. It's not coming up, Randy.
Yeah, you're frozen, buddy.
I'll remove that from the stream. How about Heath Schuler, dude? Redskins again. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
my God.
I'm getting ahead. That's draft. My bad. That's NFL draft. That's coming up right now.
That's a draft.
I just got 2 Dolphins.
The gambler.
Mike Wallace and Sue. That's my 2 last free agent drafts. If you guys have more, we'll throw them in. If not, I got some.
No, it's hard to think off the top of my head, man. You named a lot.
What, more free agent ones? That's
Yeah.
No,
move on to the draft.
was who was the one that the Dolphins got? Steve Edmond? Was that that was free agent, right? Because he was originally a Colt, right?
Dude, he was a number 2 pick in the
Yeah.
draft. He was a number 1 pick in the draft. He was a monster, bro.
Yeah. And that was the year that the Dolphins had like 11 number 1 picks, but they all sucked ass.
Fuck that. Yeah, Steve
Um,
Edmonds.
Dude, how about a little bit before we go? A little bit NFL draft busts, best picks. There was a lot of busts in the NFL, but just like the biggest busts. Remember this guy, Tony Mandrich?
Yes. Offensive lineman, Green Bay Packers.
Go to that draft. Go to that draft. The top 5 picks, and look at Mandridge. It's what was the quarterback for the Cowboys? That won the Super Bowl, the 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. What's his name?
Aikman.
It was Aikman, Mandridge, not Billy.
Billy
Yeah.
Ray Toller.
No, it was Sanders from Detroit.
Barry.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. He was
Sorry.
the number 3 pick. After that was, I think it was Junior Seau and Deion
Jesus.
Sanders or something like that. Those were the 5 picks around
Wow.
Mandridge.
So they basically
Oh, no.
absolutely picked the worst player of like a Hall of Fame list.
Dude, it wasn't Junior Seau, it was Derek Thomas.
All 5
Another
of those
one.
guys
Jesus.
are Hall of Famers except Tony Mandrich.
Yeah.
I mean, but Tony Mandrich wasn't even a decent player. I mean, he was forget Hall of Fame. I mean, he didn't even play.
Well,
Bro.
I will say this for him: he came back and he was a Colt later, and he at least played. Yeah, one of the biggest busts
He
of
was
all time.
he turned
Wow.
into a journeyman guard for the Colts. Look at number 9. Do you remember when the Dolphins drafted
Sammy Smith. My God.
Wow. Go
Later,
down in that draft. The Dolphins had 2 picks in that draft.
Yeah. They were horrendous?
Yeah, they were horrendous. I think they had another number 1 pick. Did they?
No, Louis Oliver was pretty
Oh
good.
no, Louis Oliver was good. Louis Oliver was good. You're right.
Actually, they had a pretty good safety tandem in Jarvis Williams and Louis Oliver
Very
at
good.
that time.
They were
Both
very
from Florida.
Florida.
At the time.
Yeah, they were
And
both
we-
leaders.
Lifford Hobley at the same time was like the third safety there. We had a solid safety.
Mhm. Yeah, the defense, man. That's when they had the lineman, the linebacker, Zach Thomas. That's when they had Zach Thomas, Jason Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, I remember this guy on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I was like, "Why is a fucking lineman on the cover of Sports
I
Illustrated?"
mean, if you
You
look
guys
at that, he was huge, dude. The guy was just absolutely a mammoth physical specimen, but it didn't translate to the football field.
No,
I
it was
think-
all steroids too. Dude.
he got off the juice, man.
Yeah, once he got off the juice, he was a big fat guy.
Yeah,
Like, you know how you guys
Let's
know
see.
how
he became that guy.
you guys remember how everybody says that Bo Jackson, he's the one that showed up Bosworth and made him show
Yeah,
up who he was.
that's classic.
Yeah. Do you remember when Reggie White did the same thing to Mandridge and just showed him to be a fraud? It's
I
this.
did not see that.
There's this old film. Look up Reggie White and Mandridge, and Reggie White pretty much picks him up with one arm
Yeah, Reggie White was a bad man.
and throws him back, bro. I mean, totally manhandles him, and that was pretty much his end, dude. He just
Actually, Reggie White is the definition of a tough guy. This guy is a preacher that will kick your damn ass.
Yeah,
So
dude.
he's really a good-hearted guy that will just slap you around big time, you know?
yeah. No, he's like Clint Eastwood in one of those hang him high or something. He's just a nice, he's just okay, but he'll fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Big time, man. I didn't know that Reggie White
Bosworth
used,
bust.
big
Yeah.
time, yeah, Bosworth.
Bosworth doesn't know.
How about Heath Schuler? Remember Heath Schuler, third pick overall,
out of Tennessee?
Redskins.
I remember
Yes.
him for his gambling controversies, right? Wasn't there a big
Oh, you're thinking
gambling?
Art Schleister.
Arch Schleister, was he the Redskins also?
He was a Colt.
A Colt. Okay.
Yeah, he
Help
went
me out here.
gambling and all that shit.
What is this Heath Schuler gambling? Because I thought he was like a religious guy.
No, I think Hialeah got it. I was doing a bite in there. I think it was
Art Schleister.
Arch Schleister was a big time gambler.
Yeah.
Arch Schleister, Heath Schuler. I can see how I could get those confused.
It happens. I can't remember a name. You confuse them. We're fucked.
Akili Smith. Remember this guy? Quarterback,
Big
Bengals.
time.
Bust
Yeah.
overall.
Oh. Was he
Big
the number
time.
one overall?
Third overall.
Third overall. It was Donovan McNabb. No, it was Tim Couch, Donovan McNabb, and Akili Smith.
How about Tim Couch?
Tim Couch is another one.
Yeah.
But dude, is it his fault? Or what about Derek Carr? I mean, David Carr.
David Carr, man, that guy got freaking killed.
Is it his
Absolutely killed.
Is it their fault?
Another
Tough.
Texan.
That guy was assassinated.
What did he give up? Like 70? He got sacked 73 times or some shit.
They're all records, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill approached some of those records.
Yes,
If not,
yes.
Ryan Leaf.
Ooh,
He's the one. He's the one.
How about Brady Quinn?
Yeah. That's another Brown bust, right?
Yeah.
What about the other?
Dude, if you look at the Browns, Courtney Brown, Johnny Manziel,
Tim Couch.
Brayton,
Joey Manziel? Manziel?
Yeah.
but
Callaway.
if you want to pinpoint one team who's really known for their draft bust, besides the Browns, dude, if you look at the Lions, man, Andre Ware, Joey Harrington, Charles Rogers, that guy's actually dead. He's not just a bust. He's not even alive anymore. Mike Williams.
They picked like 3 wide receivers back to back 3 years in a row, and they all sucked.
Except Roy Williams was kind of.
Yes, he was okay.
Yeah, Mike Williams, Charles Rogers.
Charles Rogers was like the 3rd pick, right? Super high.
It was high, dude. They were all high. That was the Matt Millen years, right?
Yeah, Matt Millen.
Trent Richardson is another one for the Browns.
Who?
Trent Richardson.
Oh, yeah.
He had a good rookie year, and then the bottom fell off, dude.
And he went to the Colts.
And then he went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
And he's out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think he's playing for the XFL or something.
Or something. Yeah, probably so.
He's like their main guy. Was one of their main guys. Deion Jordan for the Dolphins was a fucking.
Oh, absolutely. We moved up in the draft to either 2 or 3 to pick that guy.
3.
Dude.
And that was because of the coach, right? Because he had some ties to him in Washington.
Well, because they basically went out to the the Oregon coach, and they took the coach's word for, hey, is this guy a good player? Yeah, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
No background check, no nothing, and the guy had all kinds of issues.
He was with the Raiders last year. Right now, he's a free agent. They let him go too.
I'm sure.
He was a Seahawk too for a little while.
Yes. Yes.
All right. How about some of the best draft picks or value picks? I'll give you one. I hate this motherfucker, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady is the great steal. The great steal of all time, I have to say.
How about Brett
Is
Favre?
it close? Brett Favre, man.
Brett Favre was either late 1st round or early 2nd round, but the gaff there is the Falcons didn't keep him, dude. They just gave him up for nothing later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about Aaron Rodgers?
But he was a 1st rounder, right?
Yeah, but a late 1st rounder, and the Dolphins like passed on him like 18 times. I'm exaggerating. Of course, it's the Cuban in me. Sorry.
They probably did.
But they did pass on him several times, I believe.
Hey, what about Marino?
Yeah, he's a good pick, dude. Late 1st round.
Supposedly because he liked to toot the old cocaine in.
That was
the rap on him.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, 24th overall.
He went 24th, and that other guy, Smith, went number 1. Yeah.
Roger Staubach, dude, was a 10th round pick.
That's because he had to go to the Navy, dude. He had to serve in Vietnam. He was the
Let me tell you that guy is royalty to me, man. And I'm not a big Cowboy fan, but man, look at that guy. Military career, freaking top pick, Heisman Trophy winner, freaking Super Bowl champion. I respected that guy big time.
Oh yeah, I see him, and I swear to God, there's a halo over his head.
Yes, just shy of that. Yeah, I would agree, man.
You guys remember Shallow Hal? And every time he would look at her, that if she was beautiful, they would put like a light, and she would just glow. That's how I see Roger Staubach. He just glows. He just walks around glowing, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Charmed life for sure.
Yeah, solid guy.
To anybody, that's what I'm drinking tonight. Buffalo Trace. It's got like a little hint of sweetness in the beginning, but it's not super sweet. It comes from the same distillery of another one of my favorites that the bum gave me, which is I think is what you're drinking right now, Woodford Reserve.
I am drinking the Woodford Reserve. Yes, absolutely.
Two of my favorite bourbons. If anybody wants to try a different bourbon that they haven't tried, those are good ones. Fucking Bart Starr, dudes, 200th overall, 17th round. How about that?
That's a freaking deal if I ever heard one. How many? 2 Super Bowls, right? First 2 Super Bowls?
And like 6 championships.
Yes, before that, they had won a bunch.
Correct.
Big time.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong with that guy.
How? Okay. Put the thing back. Okay, or you could look this person up. Look up Bubba Smith, where he got drafted.
Bubba Smith. Wow.
Was he not first overall?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking somebody else.
That guy was in every movie that I saw in the 70s and 80s.
Bro, where was he drafted?
Damn, he died young too, man.
Oh, brother.
He was what?
First overall.
Oh, shit. Then I'm not thinking. No, I'm sorry. Not Bubba Smith.
Deacon Jones?
Deacon Jones. That's the person.
Deacon Jones.
Deacon Jones. See
Deacon
where he got picked.
Bargain.
I think you. I don't think he was drafted.
I know the story of Bubba Smith because when we did those old football episodes before, I think he was the first pick after the merger, first round pick overall. Dean Jones, he's a 13th round pick, dude. He was a steal,
There you
absolute
go.
steal.
You hit it, Hialeah. That guy
I
was
just had the wrong guy,
year.
Deacon Jones. Yeah, and I believe isn't the sack named after him? Didn't he coin the phrase sack?
I think he started the whole sack thing. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah.
And he played on probably the greatest defensive line of all time, the Fearsome Four, is it?
The Fearsome Foursome.
With Rosie Greer,
Merlin Olsen,
and I forget the other guy.
Me too. I can't remember the last guy too.
Yeah, I got that confused with the Purple People Eaters.
Look at them next. Look at that. Look at those guys, bro. Freaking monsters.
And most of the football games that I saw in the early 80s and mid 80s had Merlin Olsen and Dickenberg as the sportscasters, which was awesome.
Classic team, broadcast team, bro. Look at he's a good another. He was a late pick. He was like what, 4th maybe?
7th round, number 192 overall.
Oh wow. And he's a Hall of Fame tight end. That guy was a badass guy. His brother was really good too, Sterling Sharp.
Dude, he was another Hall of Famer, dude. If he would have played, if he wouldn't have got it, he messed up. What was it? His neck or something, right?
Yeah, his neck. Now this guy, I think, won 2 Super Bowls, one for Denver and one for
the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, the Ravens.
Yeah.
He didn't win both for the.
Yeah, I think he won both with Denver.
So then it would be 3.
Yeah, 3.
I just remember like the very first time that I played fantasy football, that was my tight end, and that guy was awesome, dude.
That guy's amazing.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
There you go. 2 with Denver and 1 with the Ravens.
Yeah. Dude, Andre Reed was a 4th rounder.
That's a pretty good deal. Yeah. That guy scorched. That guy scorched the Dolphins for many a time.
Yeah. Bro, but just look at Wilson from Seattle, man. That's a great pick.
That's a
3rd round.
3rd round pick? Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. For a franchise quarterback in the 3rd round, absolutely.
And if you recall, they picked up Flynn from Green Bay that year. He was a big free agent signing for them.
That's one of the big free agent busts of all time. Flynn to Seattle.
And he never played for them because Russell Wilson took over. And he ended up with the Raiders, and I think he played 1 or 2 games with the Raiders, and he was done. He was the big Flynn was the big backup to Favre that had that like a 6 touchdown, 7 touchdown game or something.
Yeah.
Again, the Raiders on one game, 1-0, and they don't do shit.
A short body of work, to say
Yeah.
the least, right? Don't worry, the Dolphins have plenty of those, man.
Yeah, like I told you, the Dolphins and the Raiders, bro, hand in hand.
How about Johnny Unitas?
Oh, dude, he was like what, a 15th pick, 15th rounder.
9th round, 102nd overall.
I got to tell you, you got to be careful that this may not be probably one of the greatest picks of all time, along with Tom Brady. This guy defined what a quarterback was in a time where they were still heavily running the football. This guy is pretty much up there. When you talk to a lot of these quarterbacks, they refer to this guy as their inspiration.
Like you know how NBA has Jerry West as their image.
Yes.
If the NFL had one, I would think it would be Johnny Unitas going back to pass as the image for the NFL.
I would say him or Jim Brown running the ball.
I still see it more as Unitas in that classic pose to throw the ball. I think you had it up a second ago.
Yeah.
Well, not that one.
I didn't know he was
that
a
one.
Charger.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
Did you guys know that?
Yeah, he ended in.
How about this one, dude?
Well, he lost was he the backup or the primary?
He was the backup
in
tomorrow.
the 68?
Yeah.
In the Joe Namath Super Bowl, he was the backup?
He actually came in and threw the only touchdown for the Colts.
There you go.
We talked about that when we did those Super Bowl episodes, Ro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He was on the bench there. This dude,
Another one, dude.
196 overall. I gotta tell you, I like those fucking uniforms. They should go back to that shit.
I would agree.
Terrell Davis.
Do you remember what he got a tackle on a kick return, and he got a nasty in the preseason, and that's what got him fucking noticed, bro. Special teams tackle. He laid some guy out, man.
This guy was always a headache away from not playing.
Yeah.
He suffered from extreme migraines,
Yeah.
I think is what his big problem was. And he's a Hall of Famer. Pretty amazing.
Bro, he was amazing. He was a great guy.
Now let me throw this out to you guys. There's a lot of people, and they use this guy as an example, and there's other examples that they say that the Hall of Fame has become a little soft in allowing certain kinds of players in, and that it's not really the cream of the crop. It's diluted, and they use this guy as an example. They use others as an example. What do you guys think about that?
I don't think that's the problem. I think that guy was deserving. You know, he got injured. He was deserving. What I think the problem is, it's just too many going in every single year. It's sometimes
too many coming in.
Too many coming in, man. I think it's like 9, 10 with the coaches, or even it might be. I know this year, I think it's the most ever, right? Because it was the 100th season. There's like 20 guys going in.
Yeah, they had what they call, I guess, some centennial picks.
Centennials and all that.
And they threw in Jimmy Johnson, the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, which I don't think he should be in there, honest.
What's his name? I can't think of it now. I'm having a Biden moment. Quick.
The jaw, dude. What's on you?
Calvert.
Bill Cowher.
Is it Bill Cowher?
Bill Cowher. There you go.
Cowher.
But I think that's what the problem is. It's just too many guys going in each year, man. Keep it more. It's getting too trying to include inclusive. Keep it more special, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sort of agree then that maybe they're putting too many people in.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's not as special anymore.
Yeah. I think they got to watch that. I think they got to make it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I give a shout out to my brother. shout out. Can you guys hear me?
You're
Now we
breaking.
can. You're breaking
All
up,
right.
kid.
I want to give a shout out to my brother Juan Salzano who tuned in. Dímelo, Johnny. ¿Qué pasa? And two, I think I was shocked that Terrell Davis made the Hall of Fame, dude. I was shocked, man. He doesn't even have 10,000 yards. He has 60 touchdowns. He was dominating.
That kind of rings to what Hialeah was saying, right? Are we diluting this? And then you have somebody like Zach Thomas, sorry to throw the Dolphin angle on this, that has similar numbers to the linebacker from Chicago Bears, Brian Urlacher, who's not in, right?
And was a number, and to that point, Urlacher was a number one first ballot inductee. It wasn't just that he got in; he was a first ballot, and I don't see him being that. Dude, Zach Thomas was fucking amazing, bro.
And also, just to continue on the Dolphin, I'm creaming all over this thing story. I mean, if you want to look at a pretty good draft pick, what was Jason Taylor picked? Is he not a top 5, top 10 sack artist in the NFL? And what was he picked?
I think I think Zach Thomas was a 5th, wasn't he? Or Jason Taylor was a 5th, and then a 2nd, maybe 3rd. Third.
All right.
He was a 3rd, and Zach Thomas was a 5th. I think they came out in the same year.
Yeah. So 3rd, that's still pretty high. You expect some returns. I don't know if you expect to have a Hall of Fame Defensive Player of the Year,
Zach Thomas was 5th,
top 10 all-time sack artist, but that'll work.
I got somebody you could look up. You ready? John
Zach was a 5th round pick.
Look up John Randall.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Vikings.
Yes.
Look and see when he got drafted.
Not a big guy either. 6'1". That's what a 5'7" guy says. Not a big guy.
Undrafted.
Undrafted.
All right, we got to do a show on undrafted Hall of Famers.
John Randall.
There's
There.
one.
I don't know of any other off the top of my head.
There has to be. I just remembered him right now. John Randall.
All right. Guys, I just want to talk about, I got a couple shows planned that are coming up. I hope my connection's all right. Can you guys hear me all right?
You're breaking up a little bit.
You're breaking up, kid.
Has it been like that all night?
Yeah.
But we're professionals, Randy, and we would not let you know that you were breaking up. Hialeah is a veteran. I'm a rookie, but I'm following his suit. We haven't heard a damn thing you've said all night.
For real?
You've been on mute the whole night.
You guys should have told me, dude.
You're good, man. We've gotten every other word.
Reading your lips.
Jesus. So,
I was
guess
just
don't even
following
bother saying this.
Hialeah on that. Hialeah was texting me. I think he said this.
You gotta look in the private
Put 'em-
chat. It's all there. Go ahead.
Nothing there.
You broke up there too.
All right. Anyways, I got a couple of upcoming shows. One's a beer tasting show that I did last year with Hank and Ashley. I'm almost done editing that. gonna release that next week probably. It's a fun beer show because beer is always fun. We ranked like 10 different beers, and when we asked this thing, that's something I like to do again. Beer tasting, whiskey, tequila, anything. You know, if I knew anything about wine, I'd probably do that too. I want to get some people around the world that were affected by this thing, but that's been hard to coordinate because of time zones. So I'll see if I can do that or not. And I kind of wanted to do something in Spanish. And next Saturday, I'm going to do that hip hop tournament. So, the top 68 hip hop albums of all time and put them like in an NCAA tournament type thing and go just voting until we get to the winner. And that's pretty much what we got coming up. And if anybody has any suggestions or ideas for upcoming episodes, you know, let us know. We read all the comments, whether it's the live comments or the comments later.
I don't want to be
chat.
I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but you know, you don't have to go to the work outside of the United States anymore. If you want to hit the epicenter of what's going on, you could probably try to get people from New York and some people now in the United States, actually, if you want to get that feedback, right?
That's true. We don't gotta go far.
Absolutely.
And that's unfortunate.
It was like, yeah, it is big time. I didn't want to get like too much into that, but yeah, that was like 5 days ago, and maybe 5 days ago is already what's this dude was in Italy that I was talking to. Maybe his 5 days ago is going to be New York City. So we'll see. I do want to check out the sponsor of the show, actionfigures.com. Maybe I can pull it up over here on my other page. They do have like action figures on based on football players, mini helmets, full size helmets, or just like on movies, video games, TV shows, comic books, you name it. You know, you can get it there. manofactionfigures.com. The store is closed, obviously, right now. It's been closed for like 3 weeks, but you can still order online. We're still operational, you know, taking some precautions. Look at this thing, dude. Let me see if I can show this real quick. This is my favorite pre-order from the week. It's the, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's the Mandalorian with the child. Which is pretty.
I got it.
All right.
That's a figure?
Yeah, it's a 1/6 scale figure from Hot Toys, which is it's pretty cool. Super detailed. But there's all kinds of shit, dude. This is my favorite movie of all time right here. Royale.
Vincent Vega.
Yep. So check out manofactionfigures.com. Dude, that's it, man. Thanks for whoever's watching. Thanks for whoever watches it later on the replay. Hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell for notification. That doesn't cost anything. Helps out the show. Bum, thank you for coming on, dude.
I can only say I appreciate you guys having me on. I've been a closet follower, so hopefully not a stalker. Thank you so much. Great job you guys are doing here.
You did great, man.
Thank you so much.
Randy's doing, man. The GOAT.
For treating the rookie nicely.
You were awesome.
Hopefully it won't be the last time.
No, we got to do a post-draft show for sure.
Yeah, definitely have that on the agenda. If any of you guys want to come back and do that.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. I'll do a pre-one too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know fucking enough, dude. I try to keep it like one a month to sports because then it just gets to be too much sports. You know, we did all those football ones. Yeah. If anybody wants to check those out, if they're bored, man, we did a lot of fucking research for those. We studied.
I would say Nirvana would be if we do the draft show from Vegas. Okay, live from Vegas. That would be awesome. Hopefully we can be there just as an effort around what we're going through now. That would be awesome if we could do that.
Yeah,
pull that off.
that would be nice.
My 50th birthday bum is going to be out there. So we already talked about this before. That's 7 years from now. So we have
Jesus.
time. Hopefully, we'll be able to go out from now to 7 years.
Yeah. Maybe
right,
we can
so
celebrate
thanks,
a
Bum.
52 year.
Hialeah, thanks for the assist again, brother. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Randy. Anytime.
Awesome, Hialeah.
If you
Thanks, Bum.
guys are into comic books, comic book culture, check out his channel, Hialeah Comic Bro. Subscribe. I'm gonna put the link in the subscription later. You can on IG too, Hialeah Comic Bro. And dude, that's it, man. You guys got any parting thoughts or anything else you want to say before we get the fuck out of here? We've been on 2 hours.
I'll just say, take care of yourselves and take care of the people around you, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
And we're talking all this football, and yeah, everybody take care of yourselves. And I'm just hoping there's a football season this year, man.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy to imagine that, bro. But we'll get out of this, man. We got to do our part. That's it.